Hello and welcome to the lecture series on Indian economy for civil services. In the previous class, I have talked about the distinction between the term economy and economics, as well as I have talked about the three economic systems, meaning thereby the capitalist sort of an economic system, the mixed economic system, as well as the state economic system. In today's class, I'll be talking about the sectors of an economy. So whatever is the organizing principle in an underlying economy, the economic activities are classified into three broad categories, and these categories are called as sectors of an economy. So let us look at what are the different sectors which exist in an economy. So these sectors are called as primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Alternatively, primary sector is also called as agricultural sector, secondary sector is also called as industrial sector, and tertiary sector is also called as service sector. Now let us look into greater details what primary sector has for us, secondary sector has for us, and the tertiary sector has for us. So primary sector means all economic activities where there is a direct use of natural resource, as in agriculture, forestry, fishing, fuel, metals, minerals and all of that. So here any economic activity which is using natural resource directly and not as an intermediate good or finished or final good, then such an activity is considered to be a primary sector activity. Countries like India tend to call agricultural activities to be the primary sector activities. So I hope the first sector is pretty much clear, which is talking about all the resources or natural resources which are used directly in an economic activity, and term that activity to be a primary sector activity. So I hope this point is pretty much clear. Let us now look into details. What does secondary sector means? So this sector is rightly called as manufacturing sector. Why? Because it uses produce from the agricultural sector, and this produce is used as a raw material or as an intermediate material in the finished product which the firm is aiming to achieve. Meaning thereby it is getting into something called as manufacturing of a certain product, and as a result of that it is also called as an industrial sector because manufacturing happens in an industrial setup. Let us look at this with the help of an example. Now let us consider bread or biscuits to be an example. So the primary raw material which is being used from the primary sector is wheat. Here I am using something called as wheat, or alternatively I am using probably say something else, arhar or any other sort of a material which is a product of primary sector, and this product wheat is used as a raw material by the manufacturing sector under an industrial setup, and the final product bread or biscuit or cake or anything else is achieved. So as a result of that, this sector is also called as industrial sector. So I hope the secondary sector, the explanation of the same is pretty much clear. Let us now look into greater details what tertiary sector means. Now this sector includes all those economic activities where different services are rendered or produced, such as education or banking or insurance or transportation, tourism, hospitality and all of that. So this is how you look at the tertiary sector, and this sector is also called as service sector because you are giving some services. For example, in education I am giving a service, meaning thereby I am providing underlying knowledge which I have. In banking you are giving banking services, for example acceptance of deposits, lending and all of that. In insurance again you are accepting the premiums, and then if at all anything happens to you, you're having your life insured, your car insured, your phone insured and all of that. Transportation, yes, you have different sort of transportations. Tourism, this is a very big industry. If you know certain economies, they are actually working on tourism or this service sector as a base. If you look at Mauritius, if you look at Maldives and all of these economies, so they are based on service sector, which means they are giving tourism as a service. So this is how you look at the three different sectors, namely the primary sector, the secondary sector and tertiary sector. So I hope the idea of sectors of an economy is pretty much clear. Thank you.